Hello everyone and welcome to the stream summary where the text doesn't even fit in the box. It's about tribe rats, terror birds and random questions and answers from Henrik. I mean not the questions from Henrik of course. So let's first look at what Henrik showed us while we were riding from Tindrum to Fabanum. The terror birds, small, medium and alpha pack leader, they have all different designs and skins, but of course are similar, and if they scream they are really terrifying, that's why they are called terror birds. And it is inspired from prehistoric creatures with the extra starbolt touch. Will be in jungle and yeah, you can later ride on them, and I also think that they would be very good pets, maybe for farming some pigs, humans and other kinds of pigs. Also the raw model of the tribe rats, yeah, the fur is missing and the texture and all the other stuff, it's not finalized yet. And the old Mortal Online 1 tribe rats were in the Tindrum sewers and near the cave camp where I built my house. If you wanna see the nostalgia video about my house, the link is in the description by the way. Yeah, I farmed a lot of these tribe rats, I mean just to show the Mortal Online 1 statistics. If someone knows something about tribe rats, then it's me. And I can only say it's a lot of fun to fight against them. The carcass is around equal to the springbok carcass worth, and I was more or less living in the sewers anyway, so I encountered these rats all the time. And now I'm also wondering if Star will make a statistics page for Mortal Online 2. I hope so. Anyway, these rats are awesome. They often came equipped with a club, to be precise a spiked club. If you don't have defensive stance and this thing hits you, it can hit you through the parry, and the tribe rat leader was another level. Better use a medium armor or higher for the tribe rat leader, and I think Star Wars will also work on the tribe rat leader, and maybe also on the tribe rat alchemist that drops salvia and some other very cool ingredients. This is one of my favorite mobs, but I can't tell for Mortal Online 2. Maybe it will be my favorite mob again, depending on location, cost, effort, time, money, all the other stuff, but it's a good hunting option. So anyway, let's continue with our list. If I don't go too much into detail, then Henrik didn't specify any specific details, so I try my best. Let's start. Henrik's cold is getting better. Release is still the 25th of January. Before boats can come to the game, they need the wagon system and also the ocean system. And on top of that, the sailing system. This will take a lot of work, assets, time and so on, so it's planned for a lot later. Boats will be handled with player skill, not with the skill of your character, but Henrik is not sure on that. Building your own priests, taverns, banks and NPCs will be possible with the territory control patch. This will come after the release, because the housing patch is just housing. The skill veterinary, where you can bandage your pets, is finished and will come with the next patch. Later with the boats and the ships, they will implement some very deep sea fishes, where you need a boat to go fishing in very deep seas. Gambling and other games is worked on, that we can play poker, for example in a tavern. You can build houses with different kinds of materials, for example each house needs metal, wood and stone. And it is like in Mortal Online 1, you gather your wood, you gather your metals and your stone, doesn't matter what kind, you throw that in. And for example you need 20% metals, then you throw black in or steel, then you got a percentage of metal in there. And if you use for example high-end metals like steel, tungsten and stuff, then you need less material from that. For example, you need maybe a few stacks of cuprum to build that up, but you would only need one stack of steel to build that up. Just an example how the system will work. Huge kegs where you can store a lot of potion units and other fluids and stuff will not be in game before the release, but he's not sure. They will change the guard AI behavior, that they do a little less damage because they are now too strong. A lot of more caves and dungeons are planned and they will come, but they need time. They are currently working a lot on that. Ships will be craftable like the housing system, and there will be expansions and more stuff for boats as well. Also siege equipment on the boats. 90 FPS and 120 FPS option will come to the game at some point. Potion effects will come before the release, maybe if they have the time for it. The bounty hunter system will come at some point. They are working on adding more pickables in the whole world. Saduka has no release date yet. They need a lot more time for that. The next armor that will be added to the game is a mage armor. Then at release they will add another armor type, a heavy armor. And about another 20 armor types and a lot more armor types will come to the game. Terror birds will be very fast, but they will burn stamina fast. And horses will get balanced, that they use less stamina for riding to even out the whole transport system. They will change the aggro behavior of some monsters and animals, because many people complained about how the monsters are aggro some little mages and stuff. Crouching will be added at some point, but not during fights, so that the crouching animation will take a few seconds and stuff, that you can't crouch while you're fighting. Cooking system balance will come to give cooked food a little bit more effects. Scribing will come soon, that you can write scrolls into your spellbook. If you construct a house and it is not finished, then it's pretty fragile, and a lot of angry people with some hammers and stuff could maybe destroy that. People wrote you can parry a 360. This is due to some limitations in the networking process in general. Then the whole Twitch chat talked about the delays and stuff. StarWorld has a very good system in place for that. Just for example, if you sit beside the server, you would have a ping of 2 milliseconds. The server is in England, by the way, but just for example, you sit beside the server and your ping will be normalized. That means now, just for example, if you have a ping of 2 milliseconds, then you would have a ping of 100. It doesn't matter if you sit beside the server, it doesn't matter in any way. The problem is just for the Australian players, for example, but Starlink could be the option here because you can't get any faster. I mean, the software end at StarWorld is pretty good anyway. Or maybe they will make a new continent, for example, they say a Nordfeld, for example, or some other continent. Will just be hosted on a server that is, for example, in Sydney. I mean, the fate between the continents and stuff, I don't know how they will realize that, but just for my understanding, that would be possible. But just for example, if you would take Saduka and just place it in the US, then all the US players wouldn't cry about the ping. But that is a never-ending story and a never-ending discussion in the forums anyway. And I will not go into detail here, but I could talk about this hours long. But just a short reminder, StarWorld really did anything they can do. Resource distribution is worked on to even out the resources and stuff. Placeable campfires will come soon. Naming cooked foods will come to the game. The dynamic weather system is currently worked on, that we have synchronized clouds on the live server. It will not be possible to implement bear riding before the release. Lances got some damage tweaks, will be implemented with the next patch. Lances dismount mechanics will be tweaked. Unarmed technique combat will come to the game. Some big monsters and even Thurzars with their damage bonus and their strength can hit through parries and through blocks. Sure, not the full damage, but it will be significant. That will come also in the future. Every weapon group will have some special attacks, some special moves more or less in the future. Also very interesting, pet killing will give you a lot of standing loss in the future. With the ships, there will also be waves and sea storms and many other stuff. Fighting with 2 weapons will be implemented after the release, so we can all do some Sword Art Online tactics. At least I personally hope so. StarWorld is working mostly remote because of Corona. Painting and art will come to the game later, and I hope people will use it not to draw dicks all the time. And banners and stuff is something for after the release, and also if they have the time for it. They are currently working hardcore on dungeons, creatures, animations, stuff, polishing, fixing, resource distribution and a lot more. And now the biggest point of all in this whole stream. Henrik confirmed that the Mortal Online map will be in fact a globe. Yeah, you heard it right. The Earth is no longer flat, it's now a globe. Or more or less it will be a globe in the future. And just imagine sailing from, for example, Miduli to the west, then more or less around Saduka, and then you come out in Toxai. That basically blew my mind, and I really hope that StarWorld can implement this with the whole shipping system and stuff, because it sounds really complicated, to be honest. And I have another one. Someone asked, why is the water of the ocean not salty? Henrik said it's a secret and it's an in-game mystery, and it is something that the player can explore and maybe find an explanation for that. Maybe this is a secret that he always talked about that we didn't discover it in Mortal Online 1. I mean, he claimed we haven't discovered a lot of secrets in Mortal Online 1, and I remember someone found a stone armadillo under a lake, and everyone was just, what the fuck? And many other secrets, but that is a topic for another video. So thanks from Henrik to the whole community. This was a lot of work, so special thanks to my Patreon supporters, Carmel, Professor O, Donski and all the others. So please leave a like and subscribe, would be awesome. And always remember to make Fiesta Duro. See you all next time. Goodbye.